Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to today's Arden University virtual session, open day virtual session. Today you'll get to learn about the wide range of courses and flexible study options that are available for you at Arden University. So we have Anthony from Arden. He'll be sharing with us more about the university, and you'll get a better understanding of what Arden can offer for your future. So we will start. Welcome, Anthony. For those joining us here for the first time today, uh, could you give us a brief overview of Arden University?
Thank you so much, Velma. And I'm actually super excited to be in your offices today. It's a very warm office there, uh, and a good press session there. Yes, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you all for having joined us today. Um, to mention a few things about Arden, it's a British university uh, based in the UK with one branch campus in Germany. Out of the highlights, we're more of a business, IT, and a healthcare institution. We have a wide range of programs that are available for our students. All our programs are globally accepted. That once you do our programs, you can work in any part of the globe or the world. And mentioning about something about our university, it's just what you need to do and what you need to join and where you need to be at this time.
Okay. You've given a very, very detailed description of Arden University. What makes it very distinct from other universities? What would you tell the students who are here, who want to apply, like they want to come to Arden University? What is the distinct factor about Arden?
Thank you so much very much for that as well. One thing I like about Arden University, to be very precise, is the fact that we are not the likes of those old universities in the UK, a very new university, a very vibrant university, just a university that understands what you as an international student or what most of the international students do require or really need for them to study abroad. I'll give you something about Arden University. From what we've seen all across the globe, where most of the universities are named after, you know, um, scholars, big scholars or big people names. Arden University is not named after any big scholar or something. We're just named after a forest. One of the most exciting thing about Arden, one of the few things I like about that. And everybody wants to come and have a look at that. So yes, so it's an exciting place to study. And in terms of the programs, you mentioned about the programs and why they should exactly come study at Arden. Both our two campuses, or both by campuses, I mean the campuses located in the UK and the campuses located in Germany. Both of them have uh, very good facilities for our international students, just to make sure you're offering something that accessible and something that's ready for your students. And just to highlight a few programs that most of our students can come, or most of the students from this region or from the um, international students do come study with us. It's something to do with business. We have programs that range between in the business management program. In the business management program, we have it's broken down to marketing, tourism, human resource management. That's just a few specializations in business. Going to the IT, we have programs of, spread across the data science, cybersecurity, computing. Yeah, looking into the engineering program, we have a very exciting program that we call Master of Engineering Management. And maybe in the health field, we also have a very exciting program, Master of Public Health, and a Bachelor of Health and Care Management program. So yeah, we do have quite a range of programs that our students can choose from. They just need to maybe reach out to you and get to know what kind of programs they qualify to study at the university.
Okay. Um, Thank you for that. Regarding the programs, we currently have September intake open. Which programs would you say are currently available, and what are the minimum entry requirements for most programs?
A very good question there. We do have four intakes in a year. So it starts with February. February is now closed, so we're looking now at February 2027. We recently had a May intake. Well, by what I mean by recently, I mean like we just closed the May intake. So we're now focusing on September intake, and we also have a later intake in the year, a November intake. So like you mentioned, yes, our September intake is fully open now as we speak. We are happy to receive or we'll be receiving and assessing applications and students who are applying for September intake. And the most exciting part of it is that all our programs are usually available in all the four intakes. So we don't have any specific course that doesn't run in a specific intake. So all our programs do run in all the four intakes. So this September, September and November, those two intakes remaining for the year, all our programs are still running. And in terms of the minimum entry requirements, like you mentioned, so for undergraduate student, let me start with undergraduate student. Our minimum acceptable grade is a grade C plus. That's the minimum acceptable grade. We are happy to exempt a few requirements like the English requirement, or rather, maybe I can mention a few things that you exactly need for you to apply to our undergraduate programs. First thing is all of your academic documents, starting from high school. The grade we are looking at is C plus and above. You need to provide, or you need to show, or you need to share with us your passport copy. You need to share with us, English test requirement. So we're happy to exempt students who done the Kenyan curriculum, either the British curriculum or the Kenyan national curriculum, the KCSE. We're happy to exempt them for the English requirement if they scored a grade C and above in the English subject. So we say those are the minimum entry requirements for students studying or coming to join us for undergraduate. For postgraduate programs, all our postgraduate program, the minimum acceptable entry requirement is a second class lower division. So we don't accept anything below second class lower division. So we're happy to accept students who scored a second class lower, a second class upper, and a first class student. Again, for the English requirement, we are happy to exempt that cohort of students. What are we looking at for English requirement? You must have scored again a grade C in your English subject. We're also very happy to accept medium of instruction letters where students are able to, or we allow our students to, go back to the university where they study the undergraduate program and have a letter done mentioning that their program was fully taught or fully handled in English. I would say that's the minimum requirements for our undergraduate students and our postgraduate students who are looking at joining Arden University.
Okay. And now for the requirements when it comes to documents like the CV, is there like minimum months of that is required for the CV gap? And also when you look at the study gap, what are the study gaps for Arden for both undergraduate and postgraduate studies?
A very good question again there, Verma. And allow me to separate our two campuses, the UK campuses and the Germany campus. Let's start with the UK campus. For our undergraduate students, I will talk about things like the CV. It's one actually one of the requirements, or one of the documents that we want students to provide when applying for one of our courses. And in the CV, we want you to mention clearly if it's your high school or if it's your undergraduate program done locally, if it's your work. We want you to mention when exactly it started and when exactly it ended. So, for example, I started, maybe for instance, I started working at Jan 2026 to December 2028. I started studying my I want a student to very clearly mention I started studying my undergraduate program from February 2025 to December 2030. So we want students to clearly mention that. And in terms of study gaps for our UK campuses, if you're applying from Kenya, Nigeria, and Ghana, our undergraduate programs will allow you a study gap of 5 years. Yeah, if you're applying from either of the three countries, and if you're applying from any other African region or any other region, we accept up to 4 years of study gap for our undergraduate programs. For our postgraduate programs in the UK, if you're coming to study MBA and executive MBA, we are happy to extend that up to 10 years of study gap. If again you're applying from Kenya, Nigeria, and Ghana. If you're applying from any other African country or any other part of the country, any other part of the continent, our MBA and executive MBA, the study gap is 8 years. When I mentioned about study gap, is not something to do with the age. It's purely study gap. Since I'll be happy to look at since the last time you're in school, or since the last time you finished your program. So for all other master's program except MBA and executive MBA, we are happy to accept up to 8 years, 8 years of study gap. If you're coming again from Nigeria, Kenya, and Ghana, but if you're applying from all other countries, again, we're looking at only 5 years.
Okay, so
So that's
when
something
you
to do with the
say
UK.
age,
For Germany, no study gap, no age limit.
oh, nice, nice.
Sorry.
Uh,
Yeah.
when you talk about age limit, so you mean that you don't, Arden does not have like age limits, even for undergraduate degrees?
Yes, I would not look at it in terms of age. I'm happy to look at it in terms of study gap. By study gap
Okay,
means since the last time they were in school.
okay.
Yes,
Now when it comes to the program's tuition fee, uh, what's the tuition fee range for most of the programs, and also are there discounts or scholarships available for students in this region?
I would say that's one of. Thank you so much for that. That's one of my most exciting things I like mentioning about Arden University because we have this exciting school fees. For all our undergraduate programs, our fee is £16,000 per year. And we have very good scholarships for students joining us for our undergraduate. We currently have two campuses where we are running our undergraduate programs in the UK. We have a Manchester campus and we have a London campus. We have an automatic scholarship of £4,000 in Manchester and £3,000 in London, bringing down your school fees up to around £12,000 for a whole 1 year for your undergraduate program. For all our postgraduate programs, including the MBA and the executive MBA, where Arden was ranked top in the UK. Sorry very much. There was I think I got lost. I think I got my internet something. Um, if you're joining us from if you're coming to our postgraduate programs for London campus, they get again free for a discount, an automatic one of 4,000, bringing down the school fees up to £12,500 for a whole 1 year. So a very affordable school fees for our students. And the most exciting bit of it, Velma, is the fact that we are again happy to let our students pay the tuition fees in installments, where if you're coming to study either both undergraduate and postgraduate, the minimum acceptable deposit is £4,000. The remaining fees will be divided into three installments. So we're gonna the finance team will talk to the students after the 11th week. That's like 2.5 months. The 18th week and the 24th week of study. And we don't request students to collect or maybe to pay additional fees on enrollments.
That's a good deal, actually.
It is absolutely, I agree with you, it's a good one.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to one of the popular questions I usually ask, we have accommodation. So, what's Arden's plan when it comes to student accommodation, especially international students for both campuses in UK and Germany?
A very good question again there, Velma. For accommodation options, Arden do not have its own on-campus accommodation, but we're happy to organize accommodations for our students. And what we've done is to make sure that this information is readily and well available to all our students who are looking at studying at Arden University. We have on our website, we have somewhere they can, uh, view, see the options we have both in our Manchester and London campus, where we have options of shared rooms, single rooms, and single studio rooms for our students. So yes, we are happy to, and we do have accommodation for our students, and they do vary from, with the different living expenses in the UK. It's a little bit higher in London than it is in Manchester, but we do have all those options for our students.
Okay. And on campus now, what are the available student support options for international students that can make their study journey at Arden University easier?
Again, thank you so much for that, Velma. One of the few things we do pride ourselves a lot as Arden University is how we're able to support our international students when they're studying at Arden University. And one of the few things we've made sure it's easy for our students is the fact that we do have a career services team. That's one of the few ways we support our students, where this is even available in their student account or student portal, where they can, we have, we call it Arden University Careers or Arden University Future Hub, where students are able to book in appointments with our career services team. Um, in the same portal, they are also able to see what events we've organized, career up, with different employers all across our Germany campus and our UK campuses, where they're able to book in a few sessions, you know, see what's happening, see like the events we've organized with different employers. And they can even have a one-on-one appointments with our career consultants, talk about what their future plans are in terms of work. We help them attend workshops and all that, both online and on campus as well. you know and the other few things we do to our students is to make sure or just help them or run regular workshops to help them find part-time jobs. We have this group of students who are happy to work while they are studying, which is allowed. Remember, that's allowed in both UK and in Germany, where international students are allowed by the government to work and as they study part-time work, to be very precise. So we as Arden, we're happy to run regular workshops to help students find part-time jobs. We want to help them prepare their CVs. We want to help them access, the local job opportunities around our campuses. And not only for part-time jobs, even finding job after graduation. We are happy to help our students, or we're happy to support our students, you know, job hunt, prepare for applications, or maybe prepare to send out work applications or interviews, all that. Those are the few ways we do support our students, especially when it comes to careers, which is most of the concern from most of our international students.
That's such a great support system for international students. Some of them usually ask if there are notable industry or companies that partner with the university for the career fairs and the career plans, right? So, are there like specific companies, or it's a variation of industries that come for the career fair?
That's a very good question. I would say we have very specific industries or very specific companies that we've partnered with. It's quite a big option, or quite a very huge variety of companies. What we do is to organize with them, events on campus. So I wouldn't really want highlight one or two or three, but we do have quite a huge number of collection for these industries where they're able to organize, or we are able to organize on campus events. If students are free, they can always come in and have a one-on-one of what is expected of them upon graduation by those specific companies.
Okay. When it comes to the classes, the courses, some students care about class sizes. What is like Arden's class size? Because they want to maximize their access to the professors, that they can be able to like understand the course material really well. So what would you say are the class sizes for Arden?
A very good question there. I understand that's a very huge concern to most of our students. I remember when I was back in school, Verma will tell you we used to be a huge number of, you know, um, students there where it's not easy to access any of the lecturers or
Mm.
all that, or tutors. But at Arden, we've made sure we have very small sized classrooms. I think the biggest one will go up to 25 students. So that tells you, or that clearly shows how easily the tutors and the lecturers are able to identify a student. Or maybe we've seen these cases where, a lecturer is even able to mention names or get to know their students by names because of how small the class sizes are. And this is both in our UK and Germany campus. We've tried and maintain a very small class size of at least 25, just to make sure we have access to all our students.
And for some students who ask if they can transfer, like I'm in first year in Kenya, can I transfer to Arden? Or second year, what would you advise them on that?
A very good question. Yes, and it's a yes. We do accept credit transfers or recognitions of prior learning, case by case. I would say it's a case by case. We wanna look at your transcript. We wanna look at your course content of the course you're doing locally, and equate that to the same, um, or equate that to the units or subjects we are teaching in our UK or Germany campus. And we do have a few students who will probably realize, if it's, for example, if it's a third year student, they will probably notice they're coming just for the final year study at Arden. If it's a master student, well, for masters it's a little bit tricky because you can see our masters are only 1 year. We only
Yeah.
our masters is, you only study 1 year and you're completely graduating. For our undergraduate, we're studying for 3 years. So I'd say for recognition of prior learning or transfers, like you mentioned, I would really advise students who are currently doing their undergraduate programs, not the postgraduate programs. But yes, case by case, we are happy to accept the transfer. Students just need to make sure that if we are offering, or if they are coming from a computing field, they need to come again, proceed or progress with a related or computing related program. As an example, this is a business student, they need to come and join us again for the same program, not a transfer from one
Mhm.
to the other.
So they cannot switch courses when they are transferring.
I would not advise that. It actually raises a lot of eyebrows there with the embassy. So I wouldn't advise students
Mm,
to switch from one program to the other if they're transferring. I would advise them to use the same channel or join us the same program. Or it's like a progression. So it's like they're coming to progress or finish their degree with
mm.
us. So I'd advise students to join us for the same exact program they're studying locally.
We do have a question from one of the students who's currently on live. They're asking if there's a nursing course for undergraduate students available at Arden University.
That's a very good question. So for our health programs, so we do have quite a range of health programs, but we do have two types of students, two cohorts of students, those who are fully or those who are looking at fully studying online and those who are fully looking into traveling and studying on campus. So we're currently running two programs available for students who are looking into traveling on campus. We have a Master of Public Health, and we have the Master of Public Health cuts across all the health care fields, and we also have a Bachelor of Health and Care Management. So we don't have the exact nursing program, but we have the two programs that are still in the health care field.
Okay. So for masters in public health, um,
Yes.
what because it's a very, very delicate course, and a lot of students tend to want to go into public health, especially if they studied in the um, uh, field. Sorry. So, what would you advise them for those who want to apply for masters in public health?
It's a very good program there, a very exciting program there that cuts across, or it's more of cutting across all the healthcare field for those students who graduated with a related field, a health related field in the undergraduate program. We are happy to accept you in our Master of Public Health. It's only 1 year again. We try and make sure our masters are very short for international students. So it's only 1 year, and it's accept actually most of the students coming from any healthcare field to come join us and study for the public health.
Yes. We'll take a break for now. For more questions from the students, they can keep bringing your questions. For those ones who are asking how they can apply, you will apply through Us Study Now. Our services are free of charge, and you what you'll do is you'll send your documents to us, and then we'll submit the application on your behalf. And Anthony will work on the application and send us the offer. Yeah. Yeah. So you can reach out to us. Our location is Woodlands Office Park in Kilimani. We're located on third floor, the first door on your left after you come from the lift. Woodlands Office Park is in Kilimani, close to Hurlingham. If you're coming from town, you will alight at DOD and walk past the Defense Department. Keep coming, and then you'll come across the uh, Doctors Union office. You'll cross Renana Road and come to Woodlands Office Park. We share a fence with Red Cross Kilimani. So that's where we are located. Um, Alternatively, you can reach out to us via our phone number that is available on the website, and then we will work on your application. And as Anthony mentioned, September 2026 intake is currently open and they're accepting applications. So the earlier you start your application process, the better.
Absolutely. And then maybe we can include something to do with starting of applications for September intake. We have a very exciting early bird discount, a very, very exciting early bird discounts for our students who are looking forward to study at our UK campuses. So if any of the students is looking at studying at Arden, this September, and by any chance they manage to pay their fee deposit by July, they get a £2,500 off as an early bird discount. So you can imagine, so if a student is coming to study, let's say for example, a postgraduate program of 17,500, they get the automatic scholarship of 5,000 from our Manchester campus. So they end up paying 12,500. And if they pay the fees before July, they again get a 2,500 early bird discount, meaning their school fees will drop up to £10,000 for the whole master's program. A very exciting offer there.
Yeah, that's a very, very good deal.
Yeah,
Um, Students should really take advantage of that. Very affordable tuition fee. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
So we have another question on climate change and sustainability course. This course is becoming very popular, of course, because of where the world is heading. So, is the course available at Arden University? If it is, like, what can you share more about it?
Absolutely, Velma. Thank you so much for that. I agree with you. It's an exciting program there that has a lot of demand currently as we see it in this globe world now, the climate change one. But at Arden, we mainly more of business, IT, and healthcare programs. So we do not currently run any, environmental related program. Maybe if I can mention the few programs we are currently running in both our two campuses. In the business field, like I mentioned, we do have human resource, marketing, tourism, and accounting and finance. That's on the business field for undergraduate. For computing in the undergraduate program, we're running a general master, no, sorry, master, a bachelor of computing, which has a specialization in data science, cybersecurity, those data science and cybersecurity, those two specializations, and an incorporation of AI into our computing program. Again, one of the sections in the tech that's in really high demand. In the healthcare field for our undergraduates, we're running only one program, Bachelor of Health and Care Management, and those programs are for students who are looking at studying on campus. On campus, like they have to obtain a visa and travel either to our Germany campus or either our UK campuses to study with them. If you go to the website, you notice there are so many other programs and the undergraduate fields, but they are all, tailored for online students. For postgraduate programs, we are running quite a number of programs again in the business, IT, and healthcare field, and one engineering program. Maybe if I can highlight them, not so many. We currently have two MBA programs. We have a general MBA for students who are coming straight from school or straight from undergraduate program. And we have an executive MBA for students who've been in the work field for quite some time now and they're looking at upgrading or maybe to further their studies. So we have an executive MBA for students who need, and one of the requirements for our executive MBA students to have at least 2 years of work experience. On top of that, we do have a few other programs in the business field. Maybe if you can highlight a few of them, we're looking at international business management. We're looking at strategic human resource management. We're looking at master of project management. We're looking at digital marketing, strategic digital marketing. We're looking at supply chain management and logistics. Those are just a few other programs we're currently running into our masters for business field. And when you jump into the IT field, we have two exciting programs we're currently running into our masters into the IT field. We have a master of cybersecurity and a master of data science. And in the engineering field, we have a master of engineering management And lastly, in the health field, we have one renowned program which we pride ourselves in, the Master of Public Health. So that's a whole collection of the programs we are currently running into both our UK and into our Germany campus.
Thank you for that detailed explanation on the courses. Now, when it comes to post-study opportunities, uh, what are the employment rates for Arden University students? Because students are usually concerned about their post-study opportunities that they will be able to access and whether it will be sustainable. So,
A very
what would
good
you tell
question.
them?
Yeah, thank you so much, Velma, for that. At Arden, being a very recognized university both in Germany and in UK, our students are allowed, or they are able to take advantage of the postgraduate options available in those two countries. And if looking at the two countries, once the students finish up the program, or they are able to graduate studying in our programs, they're able to get 18 months of postgraduate study work visa in the UK and in Germany. Yeah, within the 18 months, students want to try and gain a little bit of experience in the work field. Some of them want to gain the experience and travel back home. Others want to gain the experience and find something to do in either of the two countries. And looking at the employability rate, currently it's sitting on a very high percentage for both the two countries. It's actually one of the two top of the two destinations, if you agree with me, Vyama, from our international students. So we have quite a number of job opportunities available for our students, and especially within where our campuses are located. They are all city campuses. You can imagine the opportunities available for them within the city campuses. And maybe just to mention something to the Germany one, being the third largest economy in the world, you can imagine the kind of opportunities the students do have when they finish up studying. So yes, our students are able to get work or postgraduate study work immediately after they graduate.
Thank you for that. Now, when it comes to applications that you handle from international students, what would you say are the common mistakes that they do during the application process or just during the process before enrollment? What have you seen that students should avoid doing?
A very, very good question there, Rama, and I really like that. So, I've seen quite a number of applications coming from our students, and when we mentioned something about the requirements of what exactly we need for our application, remember I mentioned something to the academic documents or the academic documents. Students need to provide at least a passport copy. Students need to provide a CV. Students need to provide English language proficiency, or they need to provide something to, for to cater for their English language, and we also need a personal statement at application. So one of the common issues, or one of the common mistakes I've seen students do, is to have an AI generated personal statement that they didn't probably go through before submitting into Arden. So you're able to see quite generic information in there. We've also seen cases where students, finished their undergraduate program, and the transcripts that they have are not the official transcripts; they are the provisional transcripts. So most of the issues, or most of the cases I've seen, these issues delay the application process. And we don't just decline the application, we'll come back to you, or we send an email back to you and tell you, hey, look, we've noticed the transcripts you have are not the official and they're the provisional one. So please go back to your university, have them signed and stamped by maybe the registrar or the dean or whoever is involved. For the personal statement, again, we're not gonna reject you. we'll ask you to revise these subtopics or these sections of your personal statement. But what usually happens is a back and forth of emails, which again delays the application outcome or the application feedbacks from our admissions team. And usually for our UK campus, we always talk about 4 to 5 working days. Once you shoot an application with a complete application documents, a very good detailed CV. Oh yeah, that's another thing I've seen most of the students not able to do. Provide to us a very detailed CV. By detailed, I mean you don't really have to mention the duties and responsibilities that you're doing in a certain work position. We just want you to highlight the timeline. Like I mentioned earlier, please be very specific on the exact timeline when exactly you are doing whatever activity you wanted to mention or you wanted to mention on the CV. So the timeline for our UK campuses with all the complete documents, we always talk about 4 to 5 working days. We should be able to get an offer letter. And the most exciting thing is once you shoot in an application, within 24 hours, you have a pre-conditional offer. And if you notice something is missing or there's a little bit of those inconsistencies in your application, we shoot it back to you. So, like I mentioned, it just brings about something to do with, a little bit of delays in your application. So, I would advise students to avoid those few things just to make sure you have a very straightforward application.
Yeah, Tony, and I agree with you on that, especially on the AI generated statements of purpose. They're becoming very common and they're not tailored specifically to the student. And yeah, hopefully that's something that will change soon. When it comes to transcripts, you've mentioned official and provisional. For somebody who doesn't know the difference, they're like, but I can just submit any. Why is the provisional one an issue? And why is the official one required?
A very good question there, Velma. For the transcripts, so the provisional ones, you notice they're not stamped, and probably someone just downloaded from the students portal. So we want to make sure it's stamped and signed by, like I mentioned, maybe the dean of students or the registrar of students. So we do not want students we don't want students to quickly download the transcripts on their students portal and send them to us. We may not be able to accept that. So we want students to go to the university, collect the official transcripts, signed and stamped. Those are the documents we want to look into or assess. And I've also noticed cases where students, for instance, and I'm sure probably one of the question students will ask this, where most of our local universities, you will graduate and the degree certificate is not issued immediately. And it's something we've seen so many times in our from students applying from this region. So we again request students to go back to the same university. We understand there's a delay, but have a letter of course completion signed and stamped saying the students already satisfied the academic or whatever academic records for that university, but they will probably get the graduation certificate sometimes later after a few months. So with that letter, we are happy to proceed the application and accept the students on condition that after they graduate, they need to give us that graduation certificate. Yeah. So that's the few whole difference between the provisional one and the official transcripts when it comes to the transcripts issue of the transcripts condition.
Thank you for that. One last question from a student. It's regarding the AI courses or IT, cybersecurity, to be specific, the practicality of it. I'm sure you know of universities where it's just theory based, so the students they don't get to have the practical experience of it. So for Arden University, how is the practicality of the course?
A very, very, very good question there coming from one of our students. Yes, both our two programs, just to maybe mention that again, the cybersecurity and data science, they are both 1 year programs, making sure that we have, the shortest or the maybe just to save time for your and postgraduate programs. And both the two programs we have a very good membership and accreditations from the Cisco Networking Academy for those who understand or who those students who are doing the IT field will be able to understand that kind of a body, Cisco Networking Academy, and we also have an accreditations from Certified Ethical Hacker. It's just another body there, and these two are the leading, accrediting body for something to do with IT related programs. And if you take some time and log in into or maybe visit our website, you'll be able to see a very detailed course modules or course details and modules you'll be able to do or studying at both the two data science and cybersecurity programs. And I would say it's a very it's hands-on program. It's a very good hands-on program for students. And just to highlight a few things they study in the whole field is the introduction of AI for both the two programs. You've noticed we have something to do with the AI thing in the both the data science and cybersecurity, and a few other programs in the advanced computing, network system design, and all that. A few programs, very much. So I would say it's a detailed and hands-on program for our students.
Thank you for that. A student has asked about the programs that are offered. You already mentioned that it's business, health, and IT. Feel free to check on the website, business, health, and IT courses at Arden University. Then there's a campus in UK and there's one in Germany. A student wants to choose one that works best for them. What are the what would you tell them to use as they consider their choices? For UK, what should you consider? And for Germany, what should you consider?
That's a very good question, Verma, there. And like I mentioned, all our campuses, all of them, they are city campuses. By city campuses, I mean they are located in the heart of the, or maybe in the center of the city, of the cities. And we're looking at for students to choose either, I would say most, Manchester and London is one the same thing in terms of the city life. But in London, like we all understand, is a bit higher in terms of living expenses or the expectations of students to, the living standards, a little bit lower again in Manchester. So for students who is looking into either of the two, probably the UK campuses, someone who understands or someone who wants to clear it, or maybe someone who have a family member there who is trying to, or maybe who is asking them to join the campuses. But if you don't have any family member in either of the two campuses, you're looking at how your living expenses or what your budget looks like in terms of the living expenses. For students who are coming to our London campus, we always talk about 530 per month pounds. And for students who are studying in our Manchester campus, we're always talking about 1,170 pounds per month. So again, that's on the factor. Students want to look into their budget. Students want to look into the, what's available for them in terms of funds allocated for them by their parents or whoever the sponsor is. So that's one of the conditions. There are students who prefer to have, or prefer to study in very short walking distances between maybe where they're staying and where they're studying. Those two campuses are able to, provide you with that, and a very multiple, transport links between again the two campuses, or maybe the two with the location or the locality of that. For students again considering Germany, our campus again is in the city, Berlin, capital city of Germany. Again, getting the same experience, living expenses will be very low in Berlin. We'll talk about 1,000 euros per month. And again, advantage or maybe get advantage of the multiple you know, options available for them in terms of, student facilities, hotels, transport links, places where students can hang out and all that. So I would say it's budget wise in terms at some point.
Thank you for that. One more question. Um, are there diploma courses at Arden University?
A good question. No, at the moment we don't have any diploma courses, but we do have foundation programs for students who do not qualify for a direct entry into our undergraduate programs. Remember, we said the entry requirements are grade C and above, grade C plus and above. So for students who've scored anything below grade C, they have to join us for an additional foundation year, but that only happens in our Germany campus.
Thank you, Anthony, for sharing more information about Arden University. We've come to the end of the session. And for the applications, reach out to us, Study Now. Study Now, we are a study abroad agency located in Kilimani, Woodlands Office Park, Woodlands Road, and we offer our services free of charge. They include application handling and course helping you select your courses. We will also submit your application to Arden University. We will follow up with Arden to make sure you get your offer as soon as possible. So once we submit your application, I'll be following up with Anthony. Then once you get your offer, we guide you throughout the process, including guiding you through the credibility interview and also visa application process and pre-departure support. You can reach out to us via our phone number, which is available on the website. You reach out to us and we'll place in your application immediately. Okay. For Anthony, do you have any other last thing you'd like to say to the
Oh
students?
yeah. Thank you so much, Velma, for having me today. You mentioned something to do with the fact that your services are all free. Just to add on that, we do not have an application fee to either our UK or Germany campus. So students should not worry about, that they'll be required to pay an application fee for them to be assessed into either of our campuses. So it's a good thing. I would say it's something that really helps a lot of students. So, and again, our acceptance rate is usually a little bit high, case by case again there, and we are happy to assess your applications. We are happy to, you know, guide you through your career or guide you through your career options that you have as a student and all that. And that only happens at Arden University. So I'm welcoming all of you to apply to Arden this September, November intake or February or May next year. And I'm sure I'll be able to catch up probably with each and every of you. Thank you so much, Belma.
Thank you for coming, Anthony. And also, just to clarify, we do not offer scholarships or assist with scholarship applications. But again, as we said, our services are free of charge, and we can always advise on the available options, especially financially for students. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Feel free to reach out to us anytime. We'll be happy to assist you. Don't study later, study now.
Correct. Thank you so much, Belma.
50,000 people. Is it possible? Yes, 50,000 people. That's the number of people we want to help move abroad this year. And we know we can do it. In collaboration with Study Now, we are going from city to city, helping loads of people with opportunities to move abroad. And the best part of this is that it is totally free. So if you want to meet us one-on-one to help you with all the documents required, to help you with counseling, to help you with the process for admission from start to finish, all you need to do is check the caption of this video for the date, times, and venues. If you're in Ibadan, you're in Abuja, you're in Lagos, we're coming to the city very close to you. Don't just scroll the world, study there.